So I've been driving for 57 years now. Yeah. My first car was a 1952 Plymouth. It's quite a car. It was born the same year that I was. Had manual shift. Of course, no radio, no air conditioning. Nobody had it in those days. Manual windows, we'd never really heard of anything else. And it was an old car. It took a lot to drive it. It wasn't an easy thing. Not any power steering or power brakes. And sometimes to stop fast, you had to pump on the brake. Yeah. Very different day altogether. And of course, these days, I get in my car, I just push buttons everywhere. I just drove in here, the sun is just coming up, and when I meet a car, the automatic lights dim and then bright again after the car passes. I don't even think about it. Push button windows. We used to do this when we wanted someone to roll down their windows. If you do that to young people these days, they have no idea what you're talking about. It's, yeah. And, windshield wipers go on when there's rain on the windshield and they turn off. And if it starts raining harder, they go faster. I don't think about that either. The AC and the heating keeps everything at the same temperature that you decide it should go on. And in my car, I have a temperature for that side, a temperature for this side of the car. We're spoiled these days. But I remember what it used to be like, my first car. What driving was like without power brakes or power steering. You had to muscle the car sometimes to turn. And then, phones. You may be watching this on a phone. That would have been unheard of in my day. I remember the comic strip in the newspaper that was in black and white, by the way, and it was Dick Tracy. And one of the things that he had was an actual communication device on his arm. We thought, man, can you imagine that? And of course, these days, you could be wearing an Apple Watch. Yeah. Phones. When I was growing up, we had to listen to how many times the phone would ring. 3 rings, that was us. 4 rings, 1 ring, 2 rings, something else was somebody else's phone, and you didn't pick it up because we were on a party line. And sometimes you'd pick up the phone and somebody else is talking, and you'd have to put it down until you pick it up maybe later and they're finished talking. Or if you have an emergency, you just pick it up and you say, I'm so sorry, but could I use the phone? I have an emergency. And they'd say yes or no or whatever. And we were on the phone line with the town gossip. Yeah, we had to tell her to get off the phone quite a bit. But it was those days. One party phone, or multi-party phones, party line phone. And only one phone, and it was in the little office part of the kitchen. And you had to sit right there to talk on the phone. You couldn't talk anywhere else. And if you were traveling, you were without reach. You were not reachable. Anytime you left the house, people basically couldn't reach you unless they knew the phone number and the location of where you were going. Very different day, isn't it? Good question for today. Dear Pastor Bob, how do you keep from letting the roar of the world from affecting your relationship with God? There are too many things pulling at me these days. Well, it's true. We are pulled in a lot of directions. Life is so busy. You have to really take time out to spend time with God. Right behind me there is a table full of guys that are studying the Bible. How many people do that anymore? This particular place that I'm sitting at drinking coffee this morning, there are a lot of Bible studies, people getting together, men especially, getting together and studying the Bible. Every day of the week you'll find another group or a few groups here that are doing that. And it's true here in Tennessee that a lot of people get together and are Christians. But even Christians have trouble turning the world down. Romans chapter 12, starting with verse 1, says, "Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies, dedicating all of yourselves, set apart, as a living sacrifice, holy and well-pleasing to God, which is your rational, logical, intelligent act of worship." It makes sense. "And do not be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and its customs. Be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually, by the renewing of your mind, by focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourselves that the will of God is that which is good and acceptable and perfect in His plan and His purpose for you." That's where God wants your focus to be, wants my focus to be. And folks, it is so difficult to get out of focus. So difficult to be out of focus. We keep getting captured by things around us. We hit the day running. Don't think about anything. Things are busy around us, and we just get busy with everything else. And by the time we finally hit the bed in the evening, we're tired and we don't feel like doing anything, and we go to sleep and start the next day the same way. We have to have times of renewal with God. Your most important appointment any day is the one you have with God. Have you made it? Don't forget, folks, you are blessed. Go and be a blessing.
Anybody want coffee?